are Supermassive and Unicorns of Love, a perfect 2-0. They lead their respective groups. Supermassive tied with Team Liquid. We'll get to them in a little bit. But let's focus on Papara SuperMassive and the Unicorns of Love. CIS and TCL, stand up and cheer for your teams. 2-0, 96% of players in our ESPN League of Legends predictor picked Mad Lions over Supermassive today. By the way, it is free to play. You can go to espn.com/League of Legends predictor and join along at any stage all the way to the championship. 96% of you, however, were dead wrong, as Supermassive pull out the impressive, substantial, emphatic victory over the LEC squad. And Mad Lions now are left scrambling and wondering, how do we keep our hopes alive, as they are fourth in this group and Supermassive sitting pretty atop Group A. How were they able to be so dominant in this game against Mad?
Again, I would like to point out that during our team powering segment, I did my darndest to get Unicorns of Love and Supermassive as high as humanly possible. I thought these two teams were really good and had a very good chance of making it to the main event and actually doing damage there, and they haven't really surprised me at all. I'm surprised that maybe LGD and Mad Lions aren't playing as well as I expected, but for Supermassive, it's the cohesion. They look like they are perfectly in sync. I love what they did in the first game of the series, where we have a lot of these games coming down to these, these skirmishes in the jungle, these 3v3, 4v4, Herald fights, Dragon fights, or we're doing the old NA faithful 5v5 ARAM right down the middle. And a lot of these teams are picking compositions that may be a bit too hard to execute, where maybe a world-class team on the best day can, do it with their eyes closed. But a lot of these teams are playing their first games in their, this world tournament, they're rookie players, and we're seeing a lot of mistakes. We're seeing a lot of teams, putting players on carry junglers, asking them to do everything, getting a lead early, or they're useless. Where I love how they were just like, okay, Kakao, you're going to play Hecarim. We're going to speed you up. We have the Shen guiding you in. We have the Lulu. Super dumb, super easy composition. We're going to roll over the team in the mid lane. We're going to roll over them in the jungle. And they did that over and over again. Obviously, Armut getting the 1v5 tower dive on the Shen and just picking up those kills obviously sped up the process. And, with Kakao getting that first blood in the top lane with Armut, I was really, really impressed just by the entire team. It wasn't just the Kakao show or the Armut show. I think Armut obviously was the star of the day for the team, but it was just their cohesion team fighting, especially versus Mad Lions. They looked so much more on point and much more synchronized, where it felt like one combo went off, another combo off, and it was always someone backing someone up. It was never one person going in and four people having no clue what was going on, like we've seen sometimes LGD. But it looked like every time Supermassive did something, there was a response, where if they're pushing mid lane and you have Armut teleporting from behind, flashing in with the Wukong, bonking him on the head, getting the kill, going back to the top lane to, get on his merry way, where it felt like everything they did, there was a reaction to it. And they were all buying into the madness of it, where when they were rolling through Mad Lions, no one put the stop button on. They were all rolling through, throwing their ults out, chaining them together. I was impressed by it. It wasn't absolutely the cleanest play. It wasn't, what you would expect from maybe the top level teams like a Damwon or a JD Gaming when it's world-class team fighting, but they looked really, really good. Main event level good. And I think that you're only going to get better from here. So Supermassive for me, I was really impressed by their team fighting cohesion. All five players played really well. Bolulu knows his role. He's not the carry of the team. He is the centerpiece. He is the enabler for Kakao, and he did it perfectly. I'm really impressed by Supermassive today.
On Lulu, no less.
Bolulu,
which was great.
And spoiler, that's
his name.
Yeah.
So Supermassive definitely turning some heads, if only because people didn't necessarily read up on them before the tournament. But a team that many people had high hopes for in the play-ins was Unicorns of Love, and they exactly came as advertised. They beat V3 and PSG Talon, who had a terrific day number one. That one was a closer affair, but Unicorns of Love pulling it off. What are you making of this team in their debut day at Worlds?
Swagger. It's swagger, it's disrespect, it's confidence, overconfidence, a bit of arrogance. I love it. I love a team. They are a wild card team. They are a little region coming in playing like the big boys. This is how LGD should be rolling up into Worlds. They should be rolling up into Worlds feeling like it does not matter if this team fight falls apart. I am better than you. I am mechanically better than you, and you, and I'm going to outplay you even if the things go wrong. And that's how it happened in the first game for the first game of the day, where no, it didn't go as planned. You had No Man's doing, Harold by himself, and then going on the Great Escape, where he was running through the jungle, popping out through the Galileo, trying to dodge, weave, and wave, and he finally turned it around and got the 2 kills and bopped out. Like, it's the confidence. It's the disrespect they showed these teams, where I think the caster has said it perfectly, where they weren't showing respect to these teams. They were playing like a team like they are the LGDs of the world. They are the team like it's where we are better than you. And it's similar to SuperMassive a bit, where I think SuperMassive also had a bit of that swagger, but I think it was a lot more of Unicorns of Love being like, No Man's being like, yeah, I'm better than these guys. I'm going to just go on Cassin. I'm going to bop you in the head. I'm going to bop around the map, and no one, doesn't matter what you do, you cannot stop me. You kill me once, I'm going to come right back at you and kill you and just I'm going to set myself right back up, where I really love the confidence in Unicorns of Love. Not even confidence, it was arrogance. And a lot of times you can say arrogance is a bad thing, but I love a team who just thinks they're that damn good. And they showed it today.
So there is a line, a very thin line between confidence and cockiness. So you're saying they're on the other side of it, on the cockiness side a little bit?
They showed cockiness today. They showed cockiness where with No Man's could have ended the game very easily with the team, but he was still going 1v5 on Cassidon. That's cockiness, but I love it. I love it because, yes, against the better teams in the world versus a Damwon or JD Gaming, that's not going to work. They're going to slap you in the face and make you pay for it. But I like how they're holding themselves to a regard that they are not a lower level team. They are not going to be happy getting 3rd place or 2nd place in the group. They want the 4-0 straight out of planes right into the main event. That's what they believe, how good they are. And if they continue playing how they are today and with how LGD looks, I would not bet against them. This team has all the momentum in the world. I think they're talented enough and cohesive enough, even if they're a bit messy, to get through the play-ins 4-0 and go to the main event and be dangerous.